Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here. Welcome to Stamp It Like It's Hot. And this week the group is stamping floral images. And as soon as I saw this day 6 scrap lift from Scrap Squad's 12 days of spring scrap lifts, I knew I was going to use it. I was going to create, this is a background paper with a bunch of florals that could have been stamped. They weren't. They're printed on the paper. But it's a lot of different florals, and there's some leaf sprigs in there. So, and it's on a green background. I don't know if that was just for the photograph. No, it wasn't, because this kind of goes off onto there. This looks like a letter-sized A4 8.5 by 11 kind of paper. So I've roughly marked where my circle is going to go. And so I know not to stamp there, and I'm going to stamp some of the flowers so that it looks like they're kind of coming out from around the circle. So I'm going to get busy. What I have to stamp with is this stamp set from Discover and Create by Vicki Boutin. It has this flower, this larger flower, and then this spiky flower, and this leaf sprig. And I have also gotten this leaf sprig from this Carabelle Studio stamp. I love this stamp set. It makes the prettiest leaves. I didn't this time need the darker ones, but those are beautiful stamped in colors, and those would actually be pretty stamped ombre, wouldn't they? They'd kind of look like 49 and Market leaves. Anyway, it looks like, and there's kind of a long story to this, but originally the prompt for this month was going to be to stamp on a flower. And I think when that rule was written, they meant stamp on a floral embellishment or a flower that you know. So people began musing about whether you could stamp on real flowers, like dried flowers or something. So it got changed to stamping floral images. But I thought this was kind of cool because it looks like those leaves are stamped on, right? Okay, so here are the stamps I'm going to use, and I'm going to kind of start stamping. I don't want to overlap. I had thought about overlapping, and I kind of tested it, and I didn't like the way it looked. But I'm going to go around the edge right now and kind of do some images kind of like so. I'm going to stamp a bunch of these larger ones, and then I'll fit the smaller ones in. I'll kind of stamp that so it looks like it's coming out of the circle. And I'm going to re-ink every time. I'll go here. And in between the flowers, where there are some spaces, is where I'll do the leaf sprigs. I wasn't planning to use that Carabelle leaf on the, I shouldn't be stamping on my foam pad, although I am using it upside down. That. But I might pull it if it looks like I have a chance. Let's go here, and then I'm gonna do one here. There. I'm going to do another one up there. All right. That's probably all I'll stamp of that flower, but I'm going to keep it handy in case I want to go back. I'm going to take this one now, the spiky one, and kind of put these sort of close to here because there's quite a contrast between the kind of rounded petals there and the spiky petals here, and I kind of like that contrast. I'm going to do one here, and that's going to look like it's almost overlapping. It's kind of touching. I'm pressed down a little too hard on that one, but I think when it's all said and done, it's not going to hurt anything. I'm going to put this right here. Do that. And I'll come here and do this up close to there. And it does do a little bit of overlapping there, but I can do a leaf sprig there, and that will be fine. Let me get some of these things moved out of my way. And let me come here, do that. And then I'm going to do one more of these. Put it on right there. Okay, I like how it's looking so far. Let me put that aside, and I'm gonna do, I'll do these, but I'll try to be conscious of where leaf sprigs can go. I definitely think a leaf sprig right here would be good. Let me just do that so that I don't fill up any leaf sprig spaces with the smaller flower. Okay, there, and then let me do this one here. And that's going to overlap, and that's okay. If I did one here, that would definitely overlap. So I may do it here. Oops, I guess that's where I want it, huh? I hate that because, let me see if I can stamp over it, and if not, if it looks too bad, it's not perfect, but I don't think this was meant to be. I think even the pattern paper probably was not perfect. I'm going to go here for this one, and then I'll do one kind of right in here, and there will be some overlapping there. And here I'll put it right there. Okay, now let's do these smaller flowers. Go there, and I'm going to bunch a lot of these together to fill in those spaces. It's going to be the most predominant flower. Let's come down here. Do that right there. And then let's do another one right there. Let me see if that works. I'll put another one right here and it'll overlap that leaf. And I'll put another one there. And you see how I'm kind of just filling it all in. I don't mind this overlapping because this flower has kind of finer lines than the others. But it's sort of, I like how that looks filling in there. I'm happy with this. And I'm glad I didn't do any more leaf sprigs than that. I kind of thought I would. And now I'm going to do one here and one here. Now, oh, look at that, how pretty it is filling in like that. I'm going to just do that one over that leaf, and that doesn't completely erase the mistake, but it kind of explains it. It kind of hides it. It makes you think that it was caused by the overlap, not the stamping mistake. I love this. I don't know why I've never thought to do this before. That's why I love this series, because Brianna comes up with great ideas. And the girls on the team are extremely creative. Okay, so now let's see what that looks like in the middle. That does look like pattern paper, doesn't it? Okay, I'm done. Let me put all the stamps over off to the side so I can clean them. I will put the ink away. And now, let's get the show on the road. I have this mat here. I'm going to lift it and put it off to the side with the foam. The foam really just helps the stamp kind of make better contact with the paper and push the paper in all the right places. So I like using a foam pad. The leaves that are sticking out from behind here don't show much, so it really looks like I have maybe just a few leaf clusters, and I kind of wish more of them showed, but I'm okay with that. Okay, now before I go much farther with this, I want this to look like a tag. It's like in the original. She's got a hole and a reinforcer and some twine. So I punched a reinforcer out of gold paper, but I have to punch the hole, and Katie has borrowed my regular hole punch. I want this kind of to line up. Let's see what we're gonna do. I've never used this hole punch. I got this hole punch in the all of those 20-year-old supplies that my daughter-in-law's mother Okay, and it's kind of using some of her things on a page about Ava, who is her granddaughter. She is sadly no longer with us, but we will try to remember her and honor her by making pretty things with all the stuff that her daughter gave me. I love Nikki, and she took me to the hospital yesterday and waited till the procedure was over and got me home and made sure I was okay. She's a sweetheart. And she had some very colorful nicknames for what was going on here. I won't, I'm afraid I might have to file a declaration with Facebook or with YouTube if I tell you what it was she said. I have to file a language declaration. I'm going to move these stamps over. I have stamped happy on this green paper, and my plan is to lay it on top of some white flowers. So I kept the flowers all white. I'm going to lay them out here, and because the photos are of Ava with her little kitchen that she had set up in the living room, these are two different photos. And in the original, there was a frame that kind of came up, and I actually put a picture in my frame. I wanted to use the frame, and then I'll do some embellishing around it. So I'm going to put this down here, and I'll do the embellishing around it. I'm going to let it come quite a bit off the edge of the circle, and I guess I should lay this down so that I can get an idea of if I have any overflow. So because what she did in her kitchen, she had tea parties, and she would always ask Grandpa and her dad to have tea parties with her, and her dad was often busy and you know all that stuff, but Grandpa did a lot of tea parties with Ava, and so in the Discover and Create ephemera is this awesome teapot, and I'm going to just put it right there. I need to put some foam under it to make it even with these there. And now I'm going to layer some flowers around it. I want this one here, and I'm just gonna glue it to the photo. I don't think we're covering up anything there that needs to be there, just her little shorts. I'm going to put this here, and I hope to find a, make sure that's parallel. I hope to find a word, a phrase strip or something to put on there. This kind of looks all lonesome up there by itself. Well, actually, let me put this here because the pattern on it looks so different from the flowers underneath. That was why I chose a different stamp. And I'll let that kind of arch up. I want to add this pointy flower. And see, I'm covering up a leaf. A leaf sprig. So let me see. Here is a leaf sprig. Well, let me put one of these flowers over in this empty spot. I kind of want to really build this one up. And I'm kind of layering it kind of on top of the same image stamped on the background. And I love that. I don't know about you, but I love it. I get strange ideas, and I get really disappointed when they don't work out or they don't, have quite the look that I thought I was going to achieve. But I get really excited when they do work, like this one seems to be. Okay, I'm gonna let that go, and I will use this flower. I know there is a lot. I'm not gonna cover that leaf thing. There's a cluster over here, so I need to raise that, and these dots have a little higher profile than the foam tape, so I'm going to use it here. Oh, don't want it that way. This way. And then I can layer this guy right there, and I'll use one of these. I'll turn it up because I'm layering it on the back, on the background paper. And my idea was to put this here. I think that's going to work, but it looks like I might need another flower right there. So I'm going to use this one. And it wasn't stamped very well. It didn't come out there, and this center didn't come out all that great. So I'm just going to kind of hide it back here behind that leaf sprig. And then I'm going to get one of these. I want to be sure I have one of these for up here too. It doesn't matter if I do. I can use one of these. And I will put that one on foam. And I'll let it overlap the circle. I kind of like that. And so I'm going to put this kind of down here because I want those leaves to show. But I need some foam, this kind of foam tape. And I don't know if that's going to be enough to hold it, to catch, because it's really only going to touch that flower right there. And if I don't like this, the idea that I had is that I could stamp it again on white and then cut it out with less of a border and layer it on top of this if I feel like that's necessary. And I have, in addition to happy, I have this cute little thing. Where is it? It's not on here. It's here. Look at you. Okay, so I'm trying to figure where the title will be Happy, Look at You. And I'm wondering if I put it right there. Okay, right there is where I'm going to put it. Now, I need a thickness of foam that is in here, but I think I need it to be smaller, so I'm going to cut it. I'm going to put this down. There. And now, on the bottom part, I'm going to layer this like so. And then kind of place it. If I put it between the P's, you can still read the word happy. Okay, I like that. I'm thinking that works. That works for me. Okay, now I have plans for flowers up here. And then I'll see what that takes, and then whatever's left over, I can maybe flesh out these. Like I'm thinking I could use a flower here, for example, that goes out here. I'll just dry fit that there for the moment. And I'm going to do this on here so that you can still see the hole, but I kind of want it overlapping the frame there. Now, I want to do this kind of between the frame and the I needed to push this over a little bit more, but I kind of didn't want to. That can't do that. How would the smaller one look? That's better. And then I could do this one maybe up here. I'll do that. What I think I'm going to do is make this one only 2 leaves. And I'll put that just so that it's not a carbon copy of that. It is, of course, because it's stamped from the same stamp, but you know what I'm saying. I don't want it to be all matchy-matchy, and let me put this there. Maybe that's where I'll use that. This single leaf. And I have this camera flare, which I thought I might put here by this label. Now I have to find a shorter word or phrase to go there. Put that there. It's leafy. It's got a lot of leaves kind of growing around the camera, and I like that look. It's one of the new designs that should be showing up on the Flare Hut's Etsy shop at some point. This flower doesn't have a home, but I'm going to put it right up under here. And I do not mind that the flowers that are in the clusters kind of get lost in the pattern paper print. I think that actually is kind of what I was going for. Okay, I have one left on here, and I had a reminder from a viewer, and thank you for that, that these can be cut up and used. Those are what I used to do was cut them up and then try to store them so they were easy to access, and that didn't work. So I kind of have to cut them up as I need them. So I'm going to leave it handy and then see, like for supporting leaves or anything skinny, those where you don't need a big wide dot. I think maybe when I turn the camera off, I will go back and put something, some foam under here so that this H stays down. I know it'll stay down in a page protector, but okay, so I've got that and that. I don't have anything kind of going around here, and that is okay by me. It kind of looks, it looks like part of that cluster. So now, do I want this here? No, I think I want it here. And let me put it on this piece of foam dot because I'll have a hard time keeping up with that. It doesn't exactly fit in the hole it came from. There. And these leaves kind of curl around. Let me get that one kind of curled and bent. Okay. There's this that says "in my cup," and here she's kind of working. You can see her pink teapot there, all made from all recycled materials. There is this, which is looking down at a cup on a saucer with, you know, the little design that baristas make at good coffee shops. I'm going to kind of put it right there, and I'm going to use this in my cup. I'm going to use this kind of right here maybe, since that is sort of flat. Let me do it down south of the center of that flower so you can see the flower center. Okay, there. Now, I have two flowers, or two hearts rather, little gold hearts. I also have this moth, and it's green, so maybe I'll put it I wasn't going to put anything there, but this kind of incorporates it into that cluster fairly well, and it's got some green. So let's see where we're going to put this. I'm going to put these hearts kind of down at the bottom here so they break that line. And let's see if we have any small good habits. Let's see, this says doing my best, the okayest, this and that, currently, hey there might be cute, and well, hello there, or this is my happy. I've already used happy. I'm going to go with hey there. And I was going to look through and find some paper ones, but I kind of like these puffy ones. And that works right there. Okay, so a lot of stamping on here, and I stamped it like it's hot. I'm happy with it, and I think it's a reasonable knockoff of this one. I know that green is different from this green, and that was intentional, and it's also why I like using this, which has yet a different green. And then there's a little bit of color around this label, and you know, the black and the brown there. I like it. I'm happy with it. So I hope you're inspired to do something, or maybe you're inspired never to ever try to do any of this stuff ever again on your pages. So thanks for watching. Bye.